In this video, I will show you how to implement a multimodal prompt in our chatbot application based on Amazon Bedrock. And what does it mean? It means that you can send not just text to your model, but also an image. For example, you can send an image to the model and ask to tell what is there, or if it's some kind of handwriting test, you can ask it to decipher it or translate it. So there is a lot of things that you can do when you have this multimodal feature. So let's not waste time and just dive deep into it. And the first thing that we need to do to implement it is to add a button to upload a picture. And I already wrote a code for it, and it is here in my GitHub repo. So if you want just to copy and paste it, you can go and check it out. I left the link below the video in the description. What I want to do is to add this code to the chat input. There is a little bit of HTML here, and I'm going to copy this div with the file input and paste it to our chat input. And I'm going to paste it inside of this div, and then I will also wrap both of these divs with another div, and I'm doing it because I also want to add this line that will say if the file is uploaded. And you see that there is a little bit of highlighted text here, and it is because we are missing this set state, missing this state. So just next to the value, that is value for our text prompt, I'm going to add this file state, and this is where we store our file. And then I'm going just to add this handle file change function, and I'm not going to go deep into it. This is something that you can learn when you learn React. It's not related to AI, just simple React code. So I'm just copying and pasting it, and here now this handle file change will fire when we change the file in this input. And the last thing that we need to do in this component is on submit. When we submit the file, we are going to pass the file here as a second variable, and we are also going to reset here the set file. We're going to set it to null. I think we can do so, yeah. So, and you see that here we have a red line under the file. It's because our submit function in app.tsx is not supporting the file yet, but in a minute we are going to change it. So enough of the copy paste. Now let's go and write the logic for our model. And we are going to app.tsx. So how do we pass files to our model? And there is documentation for it in the Amazon website, but it's not so easy to find. I mean, the documentation itself is amazing, and AWS has a lot of documentation, but sometimes it's tricky to find it. But I'll make it easier for you, so I'm going to leave this link below the video as well, so you can just go and check it out. So this is documentation for converse stream command, and you can see that here in the example syntax, we can pass text, and there is a string value, and we already do it here. We are passing text here in our prompt. But in addition to text, we also can pass an image. And image has few properties: format, source, and the source should be not just like link to the image, but it should be the actual binary code, and it's again this 8-bit array. So I'm going to add another function to our code, and I'll create a folder utils here, and in this folder again I'll create a file, utils.ts, and I will add a function to convert our file into this binary array. And again, I'm just going to copy paste it because I already wrote it before and I don't want to waste time on writing it from scratch here. This is the function. I'll just walk you through it to show what is it doing. So this is how we can convert file into this array that our model expects using a browser. We are returning the promise because this is an asynchronous thing. And we create a file reader. File reader is a browser API that allows us to read the file and transform it. So this reader has an onload callback, and in this callback we are getting the result of the reading the file, and we are passing this to a new uint8 array. And then we just resolve the promise. So this is the code, and we're going to use it later. And here in app.t6, let's now do the changes that we need to pass the file. So first of all, you remember that we had something red here. It's because our onSubmit function only has one argument right now. And you can see this is a prompt. So let's add a type, and it's going to be a file. And the type, this will be optional because, you know, we can just pass a text prompt as before, and the type will be file or null. And now there is no red stuff here. And let's go to our app.ts6. And here we also will have to change a couple of types. For example, this one, content, we have it as a text that is string, but we also need to add a file. So changes here, we need to pass file here, but only if we actually have it. And to do this, first of all, let's add a second parameter here, file, that would be optional, and again this is going to be file or null. And now let's create a new variable, and we will assign this to it. Let's call it content block. And we are going to pass it here, or let's just call it content. So we can just do this and pass it in this elegant way. So this is still the same as before, we're just passing the text prompt. And now, if we have a file, we are going to add an item to our content, and this would be, let's go to our documentation, and this would be something like this. This is an image, and this image would have format and the source. So how do we get a format? We are going to use the file name. So here, file name, then we're going to split it, and we split it by the dot, because you know the file name has the name itself and the file type, and then we are going just to reverse it, and we are getting just the last piece after the dot. And then source, so here you remember we created our function, just here, convert file to array, and instead of this a new array, we are going to use this function and pass it a file. Now this is not happy because of this type, because here we only have a text, and we need to add an image as well. And what is the type for this image? Let me see the documentation. It's going to be image block. So let's add it as an image block. And we need to import it. Okay, it's still not happy about something. Oh yeah, sure, and I have to add a type here, and this type, again, I'm referring to the documentation, is going to be content blocks, but there is no type content blocks, there is only content block and array. Here we need to add a little bit of typecasting, image format, and here, yeah, we need to add an await, because here is a promise, and I think we are good here for now. Now TypeScript is not happy about this one, and let's see what is wrong here. It says that this is not assignable, and again, how do we fix it? I think we probably could change this type content to the content block again, and I think this is now going to work. We're getting some red stuff here as well. I think we can easily fix it just like this, passing an empty string, and yeah, now it should be fine. Let's delete this one. Let's just go to our upload file, and yeah, you can see that this is not perfect. I need to change a couple of classes here, because you see I've done this like rounded corners only here, and here I also want to remove rounded corners. So this is something I do with the Tailwind CSS. It's going to be a minor change here. Here where it says rounded LG, I'm going to say rounded ELG. It means that it's only going to round the end, so it's going to only get rounded corners here, and now it looks better, as you see. And now let's try to upload a file, and let's try, for example, add this bird image from my avatar, and yeah, I want to delete some CSS as well from here. We don't want to center the text. Yeah, so file is uploaded, and now can you tell me what is on the picture? Okay, it says I'm not uploading the picture, so something is wrong with the payload. Let me check what's going on here. Oh yes, I forgot to add a file here. So here we have a file, of course, and we are passing it here as well. Okay, now let's try again. Again, the bird. Tell me what is on the picture. And it says the image shows a pixel art depiction of a parrot sitting on a desk and using a laptop computer. And that is a very, very good description. And yeah, I can see that I broke the styles here because I removed this text center, but I'll fix it later. It is not so important for now. But yeah, you can see that our multi-modal prompt is working now. That's it for today. That's how we do multi-modal prompting in our chatbot. And again, don't forget that I will leave the link to the GitHub and the documentation in the description below the video, so you can go and check it out yourself.